Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's that gamer dad here with a new video on Insurgency Sandstorm. And today I'm going to talk you through some settings that I've found a good base for a new player. This is on the Xbox Series X console. That said, let's get into the video. So first up, you're greeted with a menu, go into settings and allow lesson hints. Right, we have this unchecked. They're not needed, guys. Once you've done the tutorial, uncheck them. You won't need them in multiplayer and co-op. Second one we have, allow current objective pop-up. Yeah, I think this is a must for me personally. When I leave the spawn, I know which way I'm heading, I know where the objective is. So yeah, I know I'm not going in the wrong direction. Allow contextual key hints and vault hints. I have these both unchecked, as you can see. I know when I need to vault over a wall or an object, or if there's a weapon I need to pick up, I know that. So I don't have those on. Something that clutters the screen, so it's needless. Adds to the immersion and the realism as well. Next down is View Bob. Again, unchecked. Didn't like the key. He puts a funny bob on the camera, so when you walk in, the camera moves up and down, and the quicker you run, the camera goes quicker. It made me feel ill, to be honest with you. So that was a no-no for me, unchecked. Camera animation, yeah, like that. When you reload, it shows you the reload animation. When you change your firing rate, it shows you that. If you have that unchecked, you just stay in a first person, aiming down sights type of view. So I have that on. Next one is death camera. Unlike most death cameras in games like Battlefield or Call of Duty, it doesn't actually take you directly to where the player was. It just gives you a rough idea. You've been shot in a building. It'll show you the building in the distance, just so you get a rough idea of where it is. Again, a must for multiplayer. Onto the HUD. Some people choose to play no HUD at all. As you can see, I have HUD shown. For me, if I was playing co-op with some friends doing milsim, I'd have it off and play it as real as possible. But when you're playing in multiplayer on the Xbox servers, I believe it should be on. Language, English, born and bred black countryman, as you can tell. There is a lot of languages in there for the European and Korean, Spanish, Chinese, a whole host of languages in. Next one down, allow show compass. Again, for me personally, takes away from the realism a little, but it adds a lot to the game, as in I can call out to my friends and teammates, enemy north 56, enemy east 150. Examples, I think that's a must for everyone. Next down on the list is show fire mode selection. I don't know why that's in there, because when you change your fire mode on your weapon, the graphic actually pops up on your screen anyway, so I don't want it there all the time, so I'll turn it off. Cosmetic selection when game starts, for me it's a big yes. I will have another video coming out this week, talk about the cosmetic selection in depth. But for me, I have it on, so if I'm on a snow map, I can choose my snow camo. If you have that unchecked, it doesn't give you that option before the game to choose your camo and your cosmetic selection. So I have that checked. Relative team colours, yeah, I have that on, so I can distinguish between an enemy and a buddy, a teammate and a buddy. Sorry. I've just left it. It does say custom, but they're actually default. They are on default. Must be a little glitch in the game. Yeah. Friend color overrides command observer. No, I don't want that on. I want to see where my commander and my observer is if I'm on a squad with two of those. If I'm not playing as one of those. Objective indicator opacity and teammate indicator opacity. Again, I want to know where they are and where the objective is, so I have those on default 100. Spectating mode. Some people might not bother about this, but for me, this is a big thing I like on. I like to see the trails, players' vitals when I'm watching, which is quite often because I get killed quite a lot. Next up is controls. Again, this is a big one for some people. Auto lean off. I want to choose when I lean, not when the game thinks I should. Manual bipod deploy. No, not for me, unchecked. I want to deploy my bipod as and when I need it. Controller layout. I've played with this one quite a lot this week. I went to modern. Yeah, modern. I went to modern, but I've switched back to standard. I found standard a lot easier. I liked standard. Personal choice preference. You might find one that suits you a little better. If you're like a Call of Duty player, modern will suit you better, but for me, standard. Look, X sensitivity and Y sensitivity. I got those at 1.2. That's my sweet spot. I don't want to be running around and the crosshair and the camera's moving everywhere. That's a nice, smooth motion. 1.2 for me. Invert Y axis off. Oh, don't play inverted. Aim sensitivity, curve, linear. One-to-one mapping between input and turn speed. Muscle memory will kick in, and that's, again, the best for me. Aim down sight sensitivity. Now, got this slightly lower than my look sensitivity, so when I'm aiming down sight, if I need to make any slight minor adjustments, it's a little less sensitive for me. Again, same with scope sensitivity and focus sensitivity. Have them turned down just that little bit so you can make those minor adjustments. One-time sensitivity scale, so if I'm using a red dot, say on an MP5, for close quarter combat, I want it to be a little bit snappier, so I've got it at 1. The rest, however, are default 1 until we get down to the 6 times scale. 6 times, 7 times, when you're sniping or using your DMR, I want that little bit more finer control over the reticle. So again, I've dropped it down to 0.8. That little bit extra control there. Scale sensitive field of view and prefer scale field of view. Yeah, got those two checked. Feels better with those than without them. Aim dampening, strength, radius scaling, easing. There's no aim assist in this game, which is why I love it. There's no aim assist. So I've played with these all week. I don't see a difference, me personally. I've had them on 0, I've had them on 100. Don't see a difference. Didn't feel snappier or less snappier. Didn't seem to slow my crosshair down any, like a fade into the, when you're crossing your crosshairs across someone. It didn't seem to slow it down at all at any, so I've left them as default. All 3 at default. Vibrations off. I don't want to feel pad vibrating. I want precise movements into my pad as so that's off. And then dead zones, that's the lowest setting it can go. However, if you do find you've got a stick drift, you can adjust your dead zones to try and cancel out that stick. But I haven't got that issue, so I've on the lowest settings possible. Next up, we have videos. Gamma 2.2. Again, depends on the type of monitor you're playing on, I suppose. I'm playing on a 4K gaming monitor. 2.2 is default. I don't have a problem with it. When I play co-op, I drop it down to about 1.8 because of the night vision goggles. 2.2 gamma was slightly too bright. Next up, field of view. I love this. Field of view console. It's not very often we get it, is it, guys? So I was happy when we saw field of view, and I have been playing with it at 100. But for content creation, which I'm going to be doing a lot of in the coming weeks, hopefully, I've dropped it to 85 because when I've been watching content back, I find that the screen blurs on the ends. Now I don't notice it so much when I'm playing the game, engrossed, concentrating, don't notice it. But watching the video content back, I do notice it. So I've dropped it slightly to 85%. Motion blur, big no-no for me, made me feel bad after playing. Played it for about 15 minutes and felt nauseous, so I had to turn that off. Disembowelment, this is a massive yes for me. I want the blood and guts, I want the gore. But not only that, if I get a shot on someone, there's no kill feed in this game. Again, realism, love it. No kill feed, disembowelment. If you get the shot, his head blows, his arm blows off, his leg blows off. You know you've got the kill. It's there. So, yeah, that's for me, guys, definitely. Next up, onto audio. Now, I'm using a SteelSeries headset for the Xbox, so I'm on headphones. I'm on TV or wherever you've got a speaker system, switch it to. That's the volume I have at 100, and then I adjust the volume on my SteelSeries headset. Music in this game is fantastic. Even though I've got it set to 0, it creates an ambience, but I don't like music in games. I want to be able to hear effects, footsteps, bullet drops. The sound effects in this game are fantastic when you call an helicopter in and everything. The mortar strike, everything's fantastic. So I want to hear that. I don't want to hear music. Effects volumes. I was just saying some of the best in game, so I got that at 75. Mute over radio beep. That beep over the radio is annoying after a while, so that's gone. Mute earring, definitely not. Love hearing the earring. If I get a frag thrown next to me, but I'm at the blast area, you still get that shell shock feeling. So I like that. I like that on, so that's on. Voice transmission volume and voice receive volume I've left on. I've done them down slightly to 70. Let's voice receive first. This is when you're communicating with players in game. A player can press LB and talk to you and give out call outs. Now, there is that annoying child in the room, no doubt, singing, screaming, shouting sometimes. So you can mute him in game individually. But overall, the call outs are great and the community's been fantastic so far. But it is a little loud, so I've turned it down to 70. And to stop people having the problem with me coming across loud, I've turned my transmit volume down to 70 to try and help others. And again, the radio beep muted. That's about it, guys, for my first ever YouTube video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, a thumbs down. Any comments, leave them in the sections below. I'll see you soon. That's Gamer Dad. Thank you. Bye-bye.